Alright, Dynamite Delight. Now, this was I have no idea what anybody's going to think, but I'm going to tell you this. Right now, as it stands for just this one show, they gave us a lot. Only 4 matches, that was it. Only 4. Which is good, because a lot of times they go too much on the matches and almost nothing on story. Then we've been getting story that has been everywhere. I will say in this show, storytelling was more focused. And we got a surprise at the end that we've been knowing for quite a while, but we just didn't know when it was going to happen. So, let's open with Orange Cassidy. Simply. Orange is pissed off because of what happened to Chuck. Orange made it very clear he's no leader. He doesn't want to be a leader. But there's so many new faces in AEW, he's got to do something. So he's now going after the damn title. Alright. Nothing wrong with it. He's considered one of the 4 pillars of AEW. I'm not going to tell you, well, technically no. He isn't one of the 4 pillars of AEW, if I remember correctly. But he has become one of the 4 pillars of AEW. I know it's, look, you got Sammy Guevara. You had, well, you could say Orange, but more like Sammy Guevara, more like Darby Allin when it came to MJF and to Jack Perry. But Orange always was in that conversation. Let's make it clear. You may not always liked Orange, but he was a character that most people liked. You can always say that. But now with so much discombobulation, he has now stepped up into that pillar position now. I'm not going to tell you that he deserves it or not. He just has moved into that position, and now they're putting him in there as someone that could be important. The question is going to be how the booking is. Now, when you saw nearing the end of the show, when the Blackpool Combat Club comes out, and Wheeler Yuta is almost getting his neck broke because Moxley made it very clear, what really you want to become champion. You want to become champion. You're angry what I've been doing to Chuck. Well, guess what? I lit a fire under your ass because you needed a change. And they're right. He did need a change. He's been always the same. Once in a while, he's always been pushed to be more aggressive. Now we got this. And when Yuta was about to get his neck broke, and the kicker here is, and this is a bit that is very dubious, why would he run out for Wheeler Yuta? And that's Orange Cassidy. Why would he do that? Now, you would say, well, he used to be his friend, and he's supposed to be wanting to watch out for the younger talent. But after the wars that he had with Wheeler Yuta, it makes it very dubious to say that that is the best thing that was going to happen with him. But he comes out, he almost gets his neck crunched. We get Dark Order coming out, and Top Flight. They all come out. There's a big fight. Then you see them running away. And that is the BCC. And I'll give it to you like this. I thought that both segments were pretty good. But because of how Wheeler Yuta's interaction with him is, and yes, I kind of agree that Moxley will sacrifice anybody in the Blackpool Combat Club. He will sacrifice anybody. But knowing that he tried to do this with Wheeler Yuta, when he could have tried it with Rocky Romero, he could have tried it with maybe, well, you could say Kyle O'Reilly, or maybe Mark Briscoe, but Wheeler Yuta just didn't feel like it was correct, but they did what they did, and it wasn't 100% ineffective. Now, first match, Adam Cole versus Buddy Matthews. Let me give it to you like this. I had a feeling, excuse me, been sneezing and coughing. Oh, guys, my allergies are, I'm taking my allergy medicine, and now I'm sneezing. Think about this. I still cough on and off, and now I'm sneezing as well as coughing on and off. Why do I have allergies? Why? But anyway, When you see the Buddy Matthews match with Adam Cole, it was about questioning, can Adam still go because of how much they had to do. They made it very clear he had multiple surgeries and a cadaver bone implanted in his leg. Guys, I'm not against Adam. I like Adam Cole. It's not bad. But they really wanted to say, Adam, he's what will he be able to survive? And they really ginned this up. They hammed this up with Adam Cole, making like he was having a problem with his foot. And see? You see? Oh my goodness. You see, like I said, I've been coughing and sneezing. It sucks. But anyway, when you see how they were trying to play up that he's got to be tested, that his leg is a question, and can he really beat MJF? Not even talking about Robert Strom, which I do believe Robert Strom will not get anywhere. He will get his ass handed to him. We will be dealing with Adam Cole with an MJF. It's going to happen. You're going to see this. But the question's going to be, how far are they going to push this? The match between him and Buddy was bad, but still, it was really to show that Adam can function, that he's not a quitter, even though he walked away and then Buddy said, what are you, a bitch? Running away? And then he turns around angry, limping, and goes into the ring. And then after the match is done, he shakes Buddy Matthews' hand. Lights go off, lights go on, and now Malachi Black is holding his hand. And now we're getting a match next week. That I don't agree with. I don't agree with it. You know why? No build. You didn't even get a Malachi Black the next week coming out to explain why he was there. You didn't even get him walking from there and in the ring. I would have liked to see a build-up first before he goes straight into Malachi Black or goes into Brody King for that matter, because Brody's going to be the last one. And I'd rather have seen them build into one extra week before he goes into the next person. Have an actual rise, a story. This I don't agree with. It's not good. But this is just me, guys, from below. Next, we got, I'm not going to go in order. Camille versus Chris Statlander. I don't know why they're doing this here. I don't know why they're doing this now. I'm being honest here. I don't know why they're doing it now. Yes, I know we're far from Full Gear, but I just don't believe that this was necessary now. This is rushed. This is rushed. I truly believe this is rushed. I'd rather see them fight one another outside the ring and have more talking than just jumping in the ring like this. This just feels like they have no idea what to do with Chris Statlander, what to do with Camille, and then what to do with Mercedes Moné. This was a bust. It was not about the match quality. It was a bust because they're rushing through this when they could really build this into Full Gear where Mercedes Moné goes against Chris Statlander. Now, how long until we get Full Gear? The 26th of November? How long are you going to be able to stretch out Mercedes dealing with Chris? You're not. They're actually going to have the match soon. Maybe within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And that's well within the time you're going to have the match if you were going to do in Full Gear. I truly believe they could have waited until the beginning, like the 6th or the 8th, or what is the next month? Next, you could have gone 2 weeks into November, or at least 1 week into November. We're not even there yet. We're near you see me getting angry. I'm about to say Halloween is Thanksgiving. I just hated it. Moving on. We get the Young Bucks versus Private Party. If they lose, they disband. They're gone. Now, I wasn't sure how to feel about this. I didn't think they're going to break a Private Party. I actually saw the special between them and Renee Burkett. And I just don't see them breaking them up right now. I had a feeling that they were going to possibly win, but I just didn't think they would set this up now. We're not even in Full Gear yet. So, we get this match. We get Isaiah, or Brother Zay, getting nailed in the head by the ring bell when it came to Mark Quinn hit him by accident. He was trying to stop, and I believe it was Nick. Nick was about to hit him with the bell. Quinn grabbed it. He was deciding, you know what? You want to use this on my brother? I'm going to hit you with it, but he hits Zay with it. And then we get Okada after the Bucks beat the crap out of Quinn, drags him up the ramp, and then Okada grabs him and tombstones his ass on the pavement. And this only we get Isaiah. And he has to stretch this out. But I got to tell you, the fans were into it. It was loud. It was in charge. And I'm glad to see that Private Party finally won. And the Bucks gave them the respect they deserve. But why here? I don't know what the storylines are going to be in the next month. I have no idea if we're going to get Shane McMahon or not. I don't even know if we even have Shane McMahon signed. There's a possibility he's not. But it feels like this belonged on Full Gear, not here. And that is a major issue for me personally. After they were just fighting with the Blackpool Combat Club a few minutes before, and then they had to get the match, they win it here, but then it feels like they feel like they're going to be transitional champions, because what's going to happen to Full Gear? Who are they going up against? FTR? The Bucks just said, we don't want to deal with the Blackpool Combat Club. It's getting dangerous here. They were actually shredding paperwork for some reason, which we don't know why. They got into the SUV. They saying, we're going to work from home. And you could see that Cutler is left behind. The club basically starts beating the crap out of him, and you see Christopher Daniels trying to save him. And luckily, Moxley decided not to beat up on Christopher Daniels. He knows he's not the issue here, but Cutler was a part of it, and he gets his hand smashed with a hammer just like Isaiah was. So we get that. But I'm not going to tell you that what we saw for the Private Party wasn't great. It was great. The fans were so behind it, but wouldn't it have been better at the pay-per-view? Wouldn't it have been better for them to spend the next month trying to rise back up, halfway trying to screw with them, but they say, fuck you, we're going to do what we want. We are going to go after those titles again with the Bucks. We need to do this at Full Gear. And I think that would have been a better thing for them, instead of just getting it on a Dynamite. Yes, we got a lot that was going on, but still. Next, what did we get from what happened with Kyle Fletcher? Kyle Fletcher running into his Aussie Open partner, Davis. Well, pretty much, he's calling out Will Ospreay, even though Will is at home after getting his clock cleaned by the Tiger Driver 91 by Kyle Fletcher. We get Davis coming out, and he says, what have you done? You destroyed the Empire. The United Empire is gone because of you. It was between us, me, you, and Will. He was brother, and now you turned on him. And he says, and this is Kyle, he says, he's never cared about us. He always had us in his back pocket. Only thing he cared about was himself. But there's always room for you in that Don Callis family. I made room for you, he says. And he's going like, doesn't want to have anything to do with it. He didn't turn against him, but he didn't say no. He didn't say yes. But Kyle did say, you need time to think about this. But know this, I will burn bridges if I have to. That's basically what he said. I will do what I got to do to get ahead. And if I got to burn you like I burned Will, I'm going to do it. So, Davis is back. Don't know what condition he's in. And we don't know who he's going to go up against first. But it is something Kyle has to go through. He's not in Aussie Open anymore. And in actuality, now that he's been working with Don Callis, he's a much more interesting character. So, his partner, unfortunately, has gone to the wayside. That happens when people get injured, but people do get opportunities when injuries do happen with their partners. It happens. It doesn't matter what promotion you're in. At least one day you are in a promotion and not a satellite company like TKO, WWE, and not AEW, but TNA, who's part of Anthem. They will try to book you. There you go. Do I feel anything for Hangman Page? Yes. Hangman Page's segment was the best one of the night. I'm going to tell you this. I actually care more about his match with Jay White than I thought I would. Why? Not because of Jay White. Jay White coming back doesn't really have anything behind him. It's Hangman Page. He has reached the point now that he is a star. Kind of like what happened with Swerve. These two actually helped each other enough to push each other to becoming stars of this company. They're stars. I care more about what's going to happen with Hangman Page after he goes through Jay White than anyone else. I want to see what they're going to do because they put him through so much to get him to this point. He has to be able to do something. That's a big question. Patriarchy. I'm not going to say anything about the patriarchy when it comes to Hook. I'm going to wait until next week to see what Christian Cage is going to say. I'm leaving it. I know I forgot about talking about what happened to Darby Allin when he came down from the rafters, like Sting, imitation of Sting. I thought it was okay, but then at the same time not, because he's not Sting. I kind of wish they did not do the Sting bit with Darby Allin. I know I didn't mention it during the fight when the Blackpool Combat Club was going up against Top Flight and the Dark Order, but I had to say something here because I want Darby Allin to be Darby Allin, not a copy of Sting. And I've always stated, I'm going to keep saying it, Darby Allin reminds me of McFoley, not Sting. I'm sorry. Darby Allin is more of a McFoley character than he is a Sting character. Taking nothing away with the work he did with Sting, I loved it. But if I got to compare who does he really reflect, it's McFoley, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind. That is Darby Allin. But I'm just saying it. Final. Swerve Strickland versus a Shelton Benjamin. Was the match great? Yes. Was the ending okay? Yes. Did I expect Bobby Lashley to come out? No. When I saw, of course, everyone saw MVP talking on the phone, I said, okay, he's going to talk to Bobby. But I didn't expect him to turn the lights out and turn them on, and then he shows up here. I expected maybe he'll come next week. Or maybe he'll appear at Full Gear, but he appears here. He goes nose to nose with him and knocks his block off and beats the crap out of everyone that tries to get in the ring. Total chaos until they hold their arms up high, and that's probably going to be the thumbnail. But let me give it to you like this. Was this a good show? It was better than normal. With only 4 matches on the show, and they focus heavily on storytelling, is a nice change. Now, of course, they've been doing this for the last couple of months. Well, last month. How can I say this? I'm botching here. Look, for the last 3 weeks before this, they had been trying to do storytelling, but they did a lot of matches. And then the stories seemed to be all over the place. I will say this was the most focused I've seen them do this. Don't agree with everything. I don't. I still believe Camille and Chris Statlander didn't need to be done now. Because now the CEO is going to be doing something well before Full Gear. There's no way she won't. Unless they are going to drag it out. And I feel like they could have dragged out Camille with Chris another week. And then that could have started in November instead of having it here. Now I know people are going to say, well, it's better to book it here. No. Because you barely did anything with Camille and Chris in the last couple of weeks. You barely showed much of it. And I really wish there had been more build for it. For certain things, just feel like it needs more build. Seeing the conglomeration talking to Renee, setting up what they're going to be doing, I think, on Collision or next week, I think. But it feels like, at least for most of what they showed us here, it was more focused. I'm not saying everything is focused. They better have a really good story that's going to go with the Blackpool Combat Club and Moxley. If it is not Shane McMahon, it better be something that's better than what they tried with the Bucks. Because what happened with CM Punk in his interview, which pissed them off to the point where they tried to do a storyline with the Bucks and Jack Perry, and it flopped. So whatever this is, it better have a good ending by World's End, because if it's not at World's End, if it's at Full Gear, it's a mess. It's got to be at World's End, and if it's not Shane McMahon that appears at World's End, it better be something good, because if this is just Moxley acting like Moxley, it's gonna flop. People are not going to be happy because they're expecting Shane McMahon, or at least somebody that is special and prominent. It better be good. But it's just me. Peace.